Alright, so out here with my supervisor here, and behind me is the 1975 F750 that my cousin and I bought. So yeah, Kiddo and I are gonna see if we can get this thing to fire up. So I guess this is a will it start. It should start. The guy that we bought it from had put fresh gas in and claimed that it fired, but we have no idea of knowing. Was last licensed in 02. But yeah, I know it will crank. I already threw a battery in it a couple days ago and just wanted to see if it would even crank. It does crank, and surprisingly, a good share of the lights actually work. But yeah, I'm gonna see if I can get the hood popped open here and show you the engine. Alright, so here's those with the hood open. It's got the 391 FT motor, not confused with 390, but yeah, it's got air over hydraulic brakes, and this part surprised me is that big nasty air filter there is an oil bath air filter. So I thought they'd stopped using those in the 60s, but apparently some of this big truck stuff you can kind of get it, they can get it kind of however they wanted depending on the area. But yeah, so it does have aftermarket AC, which has a wire unplugged, so I have no idea if it actually works, but the compressor's not froze up and it doesn't look like it was spitting clutch material. So yeah, so I guess I'm gonna start off with is I'm gonna pull the breather cap off for the air pump and squirt a little WD-40 in there. I might try to crawl under it yet and see if I can get some WD-40 in one of the tanks, a little bit of WD-40 in one of the tanks too. But yeah, so it's an old pipeline truck. So got the axle way back here at the back. Got a big nasty 20-ton winch on it, and kind of unique boom setup to take and be able to pick stuff up behind the truck. Dual tanks. But yeah, nice torsion bar ride seat, 5-speed transmission, a 2-speed rear end. It's got trailer brake hookups for air brakes and electric brakes. Yeah, so I guess I'm gonna see if I can get some WD-40 in the air system, and we'll go from there. All right, so we got the little bit of WD-40 squirted in the air compressor and the intake side there, and then here's the air filter, which looks like it's definitely seen its share of wear. But first time I'm messing with something like this, an air pump like this, and that's pretty cool. It's got a little mini air filter on it. So yeah, so we're gonna probably pop the top off here, give her a snort of life juice, and see if it'll cough to life here. Mini me in action here. He found something with an engine, and he found Daddy's tractor, so you know he's a happy camper. He's found stuff. Yeah, are you gonna fix it? Yeah. You say hi. Hi. All right. We sprayed some stuff in her. Oh, hold on. I don't remember if this thing had a... Alright, so back to the F750 here. It's been a while since the first part of the video, so as you can see how it lays down, and well, now I'm in a sweatshirt, but just got kind of busy. But so I haven't made any real progress on this thing. I just got done. I checked spark, and I have spark, but it's really weak, so I'm gonna check this coil quick. This is one of the ones with the resistor that has to be in line. I have this coil here that a buddy gave me years ago that looks to be almost brand new, if not new. So I'm gonna check this one, see where the resistance is, and possibly try hooking this other one in Might not even need the resistor, so we'll see. I'm going to try that, see if that improves my spark. The weak spark was the same at the plug, basically at the plug as it was at the coil. So if it's anything, I think it would probably be the coil. So I'm going to check that. I also got it, I'm going to climb up here. Got it to pump a little fuel, and that's what the fuel kind of looks like. So I'm going to probably drain the little bit of fuel that's in the tank. And probably disconnect the fuel line here and pump some out, try to get some cleaner fuel going through it if I can. Or maybe, at least for the time being, just taking feed gas through the carburetor and just kind of run it that way if I can get it to run. If I get good spark, if I change out the coil and that fixes my spark issue, I might just try it. I might pull a plug and look at a plug yet too. So yeah, I guess that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna check this coil. He got resistance between, it should be, at least going off that other coil that I believe is almost new, is these should have a fairly decent connection, because they're a coil, should be one piece of wire, and then you should have a resistance reading between each terminal and the main post in the center. So yep, well, I got better spark with the coil, so I'm going to leave that for now, but I figured I'd pull a plug, and yeah, it's been running awfully rich. So probably should pull all these and clean them. They look like they're fairly new plugs at least. I mean, they're not all rusty, so they're within probably a couple years. Yeah, so I'm gonna probably pull one out. This is out of the passenger side. I'll probably pull one out of this side, see what this side looks like, and probably end up pulling them all and cleaning them all. Yeah, I guess I'll check back in. Alright, so we're gonna try this again here. I cleaned all the plugs, I cleaned the points, checked the points. Points were in their appropriate adjustment point. So I'm gonna throw a little gas down the carburetor and hit the key and see if we can get this thing to pop off even a little bit here. So I'm gonna hand the camera off to the camera lady and her assistant, and alright, we'll go with that. And of course now it is officially starting to sprinkle. Alright. Cross your fingers. Did your truck run? Way too much, you know.
Something locked up.
Battery's getting too weak, I think. Let's try this. See if this.
There was one poof, yep, like that.
Yep, battery's too weak. Well, and just like that, it's actually running. Not very well. Yeah, you can see one side. Oh. Well, there you go. It does in fact run. Kind of crappy, but it runs, and actually built some air too. It built 30 psi just that short, a little bit of run time. So next step is I'm going to take and drop oil on it and do something that's going to sound really bad, but we're gonna dump the oil on it and put in some tranny fluid in the oil pan and try to crank it over without even trying to start it. Get it cranked over and get that cycled through the system as much as possible. And what that'll do is, well, if any of you have ever taken a transmission apart, is you ever seen a inside of a transmission that has been filthy? There's my point. Supposedly the guy that we bought this from thought it had some stuck lifters, which would kind of make sense because it sounds like there's a couple cylinders that aren't really firing, and it sounds like it's not firing evenly. So yeah, so that should help free those up because the detergent's in the tranny fluid. So that won't be in there very long. It'll be basically one run cycle or cycle of trying to keep it running a little bit. Might end up having to rebuild carburetor, but we'll go from there. It seemed like the accelerator pumped. Off camera, I got it started again and was able to rev it a little bit. So tachometer worked. I didn't pay attention to oil pressure gauge, but most of the stuff I looked at worked. So yeah, no point in cleaning plugs. It was nice that somebody else had already replaced a bunch of the ignition parts, so there was not a whole lot of ignition work that needed to be done besides just cleaning some stuff. Yeah. So if you want to see more of this, go ahead and subscribe and click the little bell icon so you can see updates. Again, this is one of those side project things, so I don't know how often I'm really going to be working on it, but now that I know it at least runs, I know I can invest a little more time and money into it. But yeah, the goal is to get it back up and running and the winch usable. So I have to keep trudging along. Thanks for watching, and go fix something.